Hello guys, I recently got this little cute set of watercolor tint color A set from ShinHan brand, and today we're going to analyze it. Now this is a voiceover, which means I already did all the deal with this set. So the way that the video will be structured is we're doing a swatch in the beginning, we're doing an artwork together, and I also made two more artwork that I will show you at the end. Because to be honest, I can tell you already now, after the very first artwork, I was really confused by this set. Like here, the first color is the shell pink, and it was all binding separation inside. It was a lot going on, but it was the only one. I had a little issue with the lilac that is coming now, but very little. Instead, for the shell pink, it was a lot. And I stopped pouring because I felt like I was wasting color, but as soon as I started my swatching, I realized that it was just binding in there. I had to pour a lot more, so it did feel like a bit of a waste of paint. So the color I have here is shell pink pigments PR9 and PW6. The next one is Jaune Brilliant with pigment PO20, PY74 and PW6. The third one, this green one, is called Green Pale, and the pigment are PG7 and PW6 as well. This is a blue gray, PB153, PW6. This lovely lilac is PR122, PV23 and PW6. The last one is the purple gray, and is a PR122, PW6. I will show you the swatch after dry in the end properly, so you can see how the color dries. And I want to say that was just one layer of paint, and you will see how opaque already is. So if you're going to add 2 or 3 layers, it's going to be more opaque. So what I create here is a rose, a cute little flower, and because I was trying to use all of the color and create a mixing of the color, I made like a whimsical flower because I really wanted to use everything, and I wanted to see how everything was behaved. It was very important for me because I wanted to give you as much information as possible. This paper that I'm using is just 50% cotton, and there was something weird going on. To be honest, it didn't feel like I was using watercolor. I had more a feeling like I was using gouache, to be honest, which is not a bad thing. I love gouache, I love all media, and I love using different media. But if I'm going with the idea of using some watercolor, it feels a little bit weird. The color are very nice when swatching them, and very nice when you look them from the tube, but I felt like on the paper they were losing their vibrancy a lot, and this is one of the reasons why I decided to do more artwork. I use a different paper, use different brushes and a different water jar, because also the paper looked weird. It looked a bit clumpy while I was painting, and I didn't know if it was because of the paint or was because of the paper, of the brushes. I decided to ultimate this artwork with some watercolor pencil to give it a little bit more dimension, but I really wasn't happy with that, and that's why I went all speed on it. But I just layer color one on top of each other. We mix in, I could mix color and was okay, but they were not the best mixing of watercolor. So honestly, I will choose this set to have fun, but I will not choose this set to do something on their own. But I'm coming back, present me, and I'll tell you a little bit more in detail. Okay, so we are back. Let me show you properly the swatching after dry, and I wrote all the information, so if you guys are interested, please take a screenshot and you can look at that. And you notice this cauliflower effect happening basically everywhere. The shell pink, as I mentioned, had a lot of binding separation. It's still a little bit sticky in here, and it is as opaque, as transparent as you want it to be. It feels like a halfway between a gouache and a watercolor, more hanging on the gouache side. And if you go a bit more heavier handed, you will have a more gouache look, and this is just one layer. If you go with a second layer, you can have a really opaque paint happening there. And this is the first artwork I created. I didn't like it. The color honestly are very good looking in here, but they feel quite flat once you start painting with them. And I create some layering, and I create some mixing, and it felt a little bit muddy at the time. But I needed to compare this with other paper and other artwork. So I needed to use a 100% cotton watercolor paper to understand what was really going on. And I also changed my brushes, and I also changed my water jar just to make sure everything was clean and pristine, and what my eyes were seeing, it was just about paint. I will make a tutorial video that will come out in just a few days about this paint. On the cotton paper it spread very nicely. On this paper I had a bit of problem to let the paint spread, but on a cotton paper it spread really nicely, very easily. I had a lot of spreading game. I did also some mixing for gaining a darker tone of green, and yeah, very good. There is a little bit of mixed media happening, not a lot. Where you see the darker tone, they are actually mixed media here. But yeah, I could play a little bit more. Still, you can see it has there was a lot of cauliflower happening again, which I tried to mask, and sharp edges. There is a lot of sharp edges happening, so you have to control the water a lot. I did also use a mixed media because it's what I do the most, so I was also curious to see how it performed with other medium. It performed really well. Also, the base is all watercolor, which allow me to do a sort of a palette cleanup, and I can tell you that the color re-wet really easily. So it's very easy to re-wet, but it do dry sticky. So my palette, even after a couple of days they were here drying, they were still sticky and a little bit messy at the touch. So I don't know if it's an information that you guys want to know. Once again, I want to repeat, this is about the tint set. There are other sets for this brand, and I never use them, so I can't judge them about that. These are the artwork we created today. Let me know what you think down in the comment. I will definitely keep using the paint, but more as a part of a mix and not just on its own. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!